Starting off your focus at 4, a check-in on the Gabriel Hall capital murder trial. The jury will begin deliberating his fate tomorrow. The 22-year-old murdered Edwin Shar Jr. in 2011 and told investigators he did it because he was unhappy with his own life and needed to blow off steam. Final arguments are set to begin at 9 o'clock tomorrow morning. The jury will be sequestered in a hotel if a decision isn't reached by tomorrow evening. This jury has only 2 options: life in prison for Hall with no chance of parole, or the death penalty. Coming up, we'll have live reports from News 3's Rusty Surratt, who has been covering the trial from the beginning. At 5 o'clock, we have more on the inmate who refused to testify in court today and how he was punished by the judge. At 6 o'clock, new details about what Hall was doing in the hour leading up to the murder. South Carolina still struggling with the devastating impact of historic flooding there. President Obama has actually declared a disaster in that state. The floods are blamed for 13 deaths already in the Carolinas. Some 550 roads and bridges are closed, cutting off entire communities. 40,000 people also have no access to safe drinking water. What a thing we take for granted.
Yeah, absolutely. The storm shattered rainfall records in a whole lot of South Carolina. Many areas have seen well above 2 feet. David Begnaud has more in South Carolina, where the rainfall totals have topped 12 inches.
Crews in National Guard helicopters rescued dozens of people trapped in their homes as the deadly flooding punishing the Carolinas got worse on Monday.
We don't have a place to go. Everything I got is gone.
Several dams were breached, sending water pouring into already flooded communities and prompting mandatory evacuations in Richland County.
I mean, this has been one of the worst things we've seen in the entire time that I've lived here. And you've got people who are displaced from their homes, people whose businesses are wrecked. You know, I don't know how long it will take for all of us to overcome this.
Streets in Columbia, South Carolina continue to give way to the relentless rush of water. More than 500 roads and bridges have been closed, including all roads leading in and out of the city of Manning. 4,000 people are cut off. Homes, businesses destroyed.
It's heartbreaking.
The building that housed Shelley Manning's family business for more than 2 decades is a loss.
A lot of time spent by my family.
The damage to this church in Charleston left Pastor Paul Rienzo stunned. He and a group of parishioners spent the entire day salvaging whatever they could.
It kind of took our breath away. And then we just had to start thinking about what the next step is.
The next step for emergency management crews is to restore safe drinking water to tens of thousands of people. It is a frustrating reality for people who live in communities now swamped with water.
That same flooding has also shut down a 90-mile stretch of I-95 in South Carolina. Those aerial views of that, I know that we've experienced our own bit of flooding in Texas this past spring, but it didn't look quite like that.
Yeah, it sure didn't. It's a pretty crazy situation there, and this isn't in any way to make it a more lighthearted view on things, but it's affected sports even as well. And I mean, you saw Clemson played Notre Dame at Clemson. It was just a very, very rainy situation. They were wondering if they were even going to be able to have the game. Also, University of South Carolina is trying to figure out if that area is suitable enough infrastructure-wise to have a home game there. So they're still trying to figure that out, see if they're going to play at a neutral site game with LSU or if they're going to take it to Baton Rouge.
Yeah,
so
it's hitting everything over there.
Yeah, it's affecting a lot of stuff.
I feel like life and operations have just come to a halt, which in weather situations like that, I guess they have to. If nobody can get anywhere, nobody can do anything, nobody can buy anything.
First thing though, water. Gotta get it taken care of.
Yeah. Hey, this is especially important for moms out there.
Gluten-free Cheerios?
Except maybe not so fast. General Mills is recalling 1.8 million boxes of cereal labeled as gluten-free. But here's the thing, issues offloading flour at a California facility may have caused the contamination of 4 days worth of that factory's product.
That's a lot of product.
Yeah.
The company is in the process of converting 5 Cheerio varieties to gluten-free. This recall affects Honey Nut Cheerios and Classic Cheerios in the yellow box with the better if used by date of July 14th, 2016.
Not Honey Nut.
I know.
Not Honey Nut, anything but Honey Nut. That is, well, and we were talking about it a little earlier in the newsroom, is Cheerios is something that may be one of the first solid, real solid foods that
Yeah,
you
you
give
get
your kids.
that little cup, and
You give it to them, and now you're thinking about these children who have very real gluten sensitivities, these gluten allergies, and they buy Cheerios thinking they're safe, and now they're not. And like
Pretty
you said,
big deal.
4 days worth out of that factory. That's a lot of product.
Yeah, and if you don't want to necessarily take those back and get them recalled, I'll take all your Cheerios.
Yeah,
There's no
just
problem
send them
there.
to Max. We'll send you the address. He will eat all of them,
Right.
just like a small child.
Yeah.
Company officials say that those may contain wheat, so General Mills ordered the boxes at warehouses and store shelves to be returned.
Yeah. They're asking customers with wheat allergies who bought the affected product to call the company at 1-800-775-8370. And of course, we'll have that information for you at kbtx.com.
And then you send your Cheerios to Max.
Yeah.
So it's no secret that teens love texting, and we're always talking about it, but surveys show it has become their preferred form of communication, with adolescents sending and receiving an average of 167 texts per day. I am nowhere near
Remember
that
when
number.
texts
I'm
were not unlimited? Do you
no.
remember that?
Yeah,
It
they
was-
cost 10 cents a pop
It
or
was
whatever.
it was a thing at one point.
A lot of the discussion surrounding textings and teens have focused on the effect that texting has on social skills and face-to-face social situations, because if you can only say it in text, you're not good at conversation, as well as it being a dangerous distraction while driving, which is huge.
Right, and a new study suggests that when texting becomes a compulsive habit, it can harm teens academically. However, it was really only seen in girls. The results from the study showed that girls do not text more frequently than boys. They text about the same frequency, but they are more likely to be negatively affected academically by compulsive texting behaviors.
Yeah, so I guess you're sitting there and you're trying to do your homework, and it's just this compulsive check.
It's right there. Yeah.
Did-
It's in your
did
pocket.
I get texted back?
You,
Did I get
you
texted
have your
back?
phone out of your pocket and you don't really know where it is, but you
Right.
still feel
Oh,
the,
yeah,
like the
you
phantom
know.
vibrations, which is actually a real thing. They did research on that too.
Phantom vibrations?
Yeah,
How
it's a
bad
thing.
have we gotten?
I don't know. The suggested reason may lie in gender differences regarding why teens text. Previous research shows that teen boys use digital technology to convey information while girls use it for social interaction and to nurture relationships.
So these teenage boys are just setting it. They're like, yeah, okay, we're gonna hang out at 9 o'clock. So why do we need to text until then? Whereas the girl is thinking, let's chat up until, and she can't do her homework because she's checking her phone.
I mean,
What's the solution? As a
I think
parent, what do you do? Just take the phone away?
I don't know. I don't know.
I don't know.
Not
What
a
do I-
parent yet. I'm glad I don't have that problem right now, but
Good point.
yeah.
Hey, everybody dreams of winning the lottery. Maybe then you can afford those kids or those
Yeah.
Cheerios, hitting the jackpot.
Meet one very, very rich grandma. 50-year-old Julie Leach of Three Rivers, Michigan, won last week's $310 million Powerball jackpot. She claimed her big check today. Get this, Leach was working the overnight shift at a fiberglass company when she learned she became a multi-millionaire. She was at a McDonald's drive-thru on her lunch break when she realized she had the winning ticket. She went back to work and quit.
I have to say, if that's what I was doing when I won the Powerball, I would make sure I never again worked an overnight shift, and
Yeah.
I would probably never again eat at McDonald's. Although that all-day breakfast now.
Yeah, that's a pretty big deal.
But I think now maybe she can go to IHOP.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, there you
Just
go.
go to IHOP all
Yeah,
day.
take a
Leach
step
says
up.
she didn't sleep for 30 hours after hearing the life-changing news. I mean, you got to write the shopping list.
Yeah.
That's going to take you 30 hours.
Definitely. She took the lump sum option of $197 million in cash and plans to use the money to take care of her children and 11 grandkids.
Oh, that is
So
the sweetest
that money
thing to do
is
with that
going to
money.
be gone the second she starts getting some of those kids in college.
that is absolutely true.
Yeah.
But those are some serious college funds.
Yeah,
Aim
exactly.
for Ivy Leagues, kids.
Yeah, for sure.
Because that's where you get to go.
Yeah.
Hey, that's it for us right now. On the other side of the break, we're talking about daddy-daughter dance. What a sweet event. And for such a good cause, getting some girls out to their cheerleading competitions.
Yeah, good stuff going on. And summer weather is kind of sticking around the next couple of days, but will we get a little bit cooler? Will we get a little bit of rain? I'll let you know on the other side.